So, coming up on this week's Retro Robbins show, we're going to go metal, heavy metal. No, we're going to go Metal Man. And we've got some more Crash Free reviews and a couple of more homebrew games for me to look at. That's all on this week's Retro Robbins. Want to know more? Join me now. Oh, yeah, and this week, I've actually managed to put Commodore versus Spectrum in. What do you say about that, Emo? What's wrong with your eyes? Wrong titles. And welcome to the Retro Robbins show, and I am Wayne, of course. So if you love a bit of 8-bit, well, guess what, you're in the right place as we go back to a bygone era to re-review some more Crash Magazine games and maybe even throw in some Commodore versus Spectrum. But we always start the show with what's new on the scene and new games that we're going to play. I think I've got a total of 3 today that I'm going to have a look through. 2 of them are extremely difficult and the third one's pretty damn good. Well, they're all pretty good, to be fair. Anything new that comes to you from the Retro creative crew? Oh, I like that. Retro's the word that we're claiming for our nostalgia for old 8-bit systems. What's happening in the big old world of Retro Robbins? Well, I've got to attempt to recap guess what? A Commodore Amiga 1200. Traitor. No, honestly, I've got to do it because the picture's a little bit messy, not as clear as it should be. And hopefully, with a recap, it will cure that problem. It's in otherwise very good nick, so I like to preserve these things. I'm also going to have a go at trying to change a screen mod on the Game Gear. Bit worried about that one because things tend to go horribly wrong when they get a little bit too complicated or if I have never done them before. As always, big shout out to Matthew Logue, who's provided the AY sound in the background that you can hear there. Yeah, Wipeout, hey. And as you can see, I always throw a little bit of a few little hidden Easter eggs in the show, and the background's changed, but we've got an odd one out there today. I wonder if you can spot which one it is. Probably not. So today's show will as always be run on the Engo clone, the clone of the Spectrum Next, because it's easy for me to drag up the files. We'll also be using the Harlequin 128K that I've sold it up from Bite Delight, Ben Vastig, I call him Vaseline Intensive Care because that's just what I say. Because that's what he does for your computers. Him along with Ian, my mutant caterpillar, do all the repairs of course. So we've got the Grey Plus 2 in action for AY sound, we've got the Toast Rack in action for AY sound, and I might even, I don't know, see what time it is. If I can get another one in, I'll bang the Plus 3 up for AY sound. That means I've got to swap them all over and get them running. As always, if you've not seen this show before, remember to please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed today's content. And a big shout out to Emo there, he's my AI dancing robot and he likes to bust the occasional moves as he's now showing off, look. And he's going to fall off the edge. Go on, Emo, do it, do it. Jump, jump. Okay, I've got a big stick. And I hit him with it. He's supposed to know where the edge is. He's supposed to know where the edge is. He's supposed to have sensors on his feet. For AI, he's not all that, is he, really? It's quite funny, to be fair. Oh, look at him go. It's no good, mate. You nearly come a cropper. You nearly went tumbling down. And it would have been a long landing. You've come off there before, and I've told you once more, and get away from my Spectrum. Notice I've changed it. Anyway, let's have a look at today's first new game. I'll tell you what, I've done that quite well. And here it is. Road Tripping 2022, coast to coast, and this game is hard as nails. But don't worry, I will be able to show you more than just the first screen because I've played it off camera a number of times and decided, well, in case this doesn't get this, in case I don't do this well next time round, that what I'll do is I'll save a snapshot of me getting to each section, and that way you'll get to see more than the first screen. There are only 3 keys involved, and it indeed does have a lovely AY tune. As soon as I press this button, it will spark up. That is the opening tune, and mainly text at the opening screen, isn't it really? There's only 3 keys. You can have Kempston joystick. I don't know how that works. So I'm using the keys. It's easy, to be fair. They're all on the same line. S, F and J. Slow, fast and jump. Let us explain everything. I've got my cat out there. He's been fed, but I'm not going to give him any more food. Agree. Shut up, you ginger little git. Shall I let him in? Nah. Probably end up chasing Emo. Right then, yes, it's a timing game and you get many levels. So we're going to have a look at it now. Great AY tune in the actual game, as you're about to find out. So all you need to do to start the game is indeed to press 1. You got a few seconds, you need to collect this. I've already missed the J, I tried to press K, so I've lost my first life. Well, there we go. I'm getting past this quite well actually, aren't I? Oh, you need to go fast. It tells you where you need to change the high gear if you notice on the level itself. You can see where the H is, it tells you to hit the high gear there and then. It's okay because I'm going to get past this now. A little bit of concentration required. There you go. Oh, that is really hard because to get past them you've got to time it well at the start of the game. If you don't time it well at the start of the game, then, you know, I'm trying to catch up time so it jumps when I get to that particular point. Yes, I need a bit of concentration here. Oh. Hey! Oh no, it's that last one. That last one's really hard to get past. Concentration required. Whoops, nearly forgot to jump there. Oh, I've done it. No, the bird. I went too fast or too slow at one particular point on the screen. That's why I got caught by the bird. Try again. Oh, did you really outright tune jump then? Ah, I've done it, look, I've done it, yes. I didn't think I'd do that on one take, but I managed it. Okay, so we get to the second screen. And it tells you to get high straight away. Then, high gear straight away, then watch out for the rabbit. And if you don't change out of the high gear where it says the low gear on the actual platform itself, then you won't make and collect the items you need to collect. And if you don't collect the items you need to collect, then you end up starting the screen again. So now we can... Oh, yeah, you can't jump on top of a tower either, otherwise you tend to get squashed there. Oh, I had to jump because there was a rabbit in the way. Oh, see, this ridiculous timing required. Got to the gears at the right time. Oh, look. Yeah, I know, Emo. I'm feeling the pain. Tell you what I can do though. I can shoot in the next level though. Okay, next level we've arrived at. And while I do it, I'll zoom in voice so you get a nice big picture and actually have a look what it is we're playing. There we go, how's that? So let's try again. You get plenty of time and plenty of lives. Jump there, drop, jump, drop. Jump just before the bird gets there, jump gets there, zoom. Oh no, I think actually the way to get around that one doesn't tell you to change gear here, so maybe you can do this in slow-mo mode all the way along. Yes, you must have to do it in slow mode all the way along. So there's no fast gear on this particular screen, I don't believe. This is rare. This is screen number 3, and believe me, if you get this far, you have done well. Oh, I did it and I jumped into the bird. But now I've seen the sequence, so I can recreate that particular part of the game. So it's a case of jump over you late, but I need to jump over him. I need to jump over him a little bit later, so as I collected that item. Right, there we go. 1, 2. Oh, I've got too close to him. Too close to the bouncing ball. That's it. Oh, there's a shark in the water. Oh, there's another shark. Oh my word. Very cute. And well, what happened then? What happened then? Out of fuel. That means I'm done for. I'm dead. There is no more. That is it. Turn it down to Wayne. Okay. So it's a basic game really in its concept. There's lots happening on the screen. It's not easy at all. I've already said that a number of times, but believe me, for me to get this far, it took a number of goes. But once I learned the sequence of a screen, I became a little bit more proficient in getting past that particular level. As a game's play, it was good. It's not a lot in the way of a little different sprites there. The clouds can be a little bit confusing because sometimes you worry about hitting things that you haven't got time to think, and you think, oh, is that something I shouldn't be hitting? Was that a bird or something like that? So yeah, and it's all about getting the right gear at the right time and then dropping into low, jumping at the right time, and then timing it as well. So you got 3 things to think about. What do I think of the game? It's very challenging, I'll give it that much. It's got a great AY tune, back in the USSR by the sounds of it. Marks out of 10 then. 1 for you to get on download. Please remember to try and leave a little donation to the coders. Give them something to inspire them to make more games. Hopefully as well, we're going to have a few more games come out for the Spectrum next. So people, please be inspired to create games for the next. Let's not forget that platform, because after all, there's now going to be up to 8,000 units of that as well, including the Engo clone, out there for people to enjoy games on. And not everyone's going to be a coder, but they will want to enjoy it because it is backwards compatible with everything. So I'm going to give that a respectable 7 out of 10. Give it a go. Tell me what you think. Remember to leave your comments in the comments below. I'm exhausted after playing that. On to the next game then. Next game now. It has got a little bit of a demo at the start, so I thought I'd actually play this little bit. It's not a demo, it's just the name promotion, just to give you a bit of extra information. So I'll get some AY music on while I do it. I've got a monster of a game coming up next, which I'm looking forward to, and yeah, we'll come to that. Oops, there you go. You get a little idea of the game from that, don't you? But has it got a loading screen? I'm going to load it up and find out. I'll tell you what I need to do. Adjust the screen a little bit. There we go. We don't need a massive picture, do we? Well, slightly bigger maybe. That'll do nicely. And get on with loading the rest of the game. So this is the loading screen. That's the name of the game. Yes, indeed. It's number 3. Donkey Kong 3. A trilogy of games, but this is more modern. Great loading screen. Love that. Absolutely love that. It's not completely filled out, but it doesn't need to be. But it is really, really nice. Yeah, it's good to see some great artwork on some of these loading screens of these games. I mean, some of my favourite loading games, screens, shall we say. We all love Rambo, don't we? We can't beat Rambo. Oh, that was brilliant, that. I think that was a real use of red and yellow in making it look like fire, and that just popped out. This pops out, and hopefully the next game will do the same. So let's get on with it being loaded. Okay, we're nearly there. So any minute now the game will start, and is that normal? Has that gone wrong on me, or has it worked? Okay. Interesting that, wasn't it? I don't know what was going on then. I didn't think it worked. Right. Donkey Kong 3. You're on that platform on either side. So, let's try 3 for controls. Oh. Oh. Oh, I like that. You know what I'm going to say. Anybody who watches this show will know I like a game where you get to choose the keys that you want to use. And naught goes back. So you can have a 1 or 2 player. Now, does that mean 2 player where you can play against an opponent, or does that mean you both take it in turns to have a go? I don't know, maybe I should try that out and have a look. Oh, incidentally, the AY tune is off the Toast Rack. It's one of my favourite games, Nixie and the Seeds of Doom, and it's one of my favourite AY tracks as well. We'll be featuring in an upcoming show, which is done just on the cutting room floor. Let's play then. Easy, medium or hard? Well, because I'm such an expert, I'm going to press number 1. So you catch the stuff, then you fire them there, and you try and catch the man or the flies. And, well, you've got to try and score more than he has, basically. Trying to catch as many as I can, but so when you can see that by the hearts there filling up, that's when you've got enough oil. So you need 3 shots and then try not to miss. Yep, okay, I'm up to 22. I don't know whether I'll win or not, but I've got a few good hits there. Only thing is, I noticed he's always hit me twice, hasn't he? He sort of fills up quicker than mine. Oh, I beat him! I've not done that before. Get in there. Oh, no, we'll go start again, okay. So that counter going up is the number of blows, but really I think we need to get one of these to go across to him, don't we, before he fires one back. But you can go up the ladder, so what's all that about? Okay, you can go up and down a level, but I just tend to stay in the middle, to be fair. I've got him again, haven't I? It dust you. Right, any minute now, I'm going to bite it in the neck, so, come on, we can get a couple more in. He's got 2 lives gone, I've just got to beat him once more, haven't I? I've never won before. It's a new concept. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's have a look. Okay, all the information you got there, scrolling of who did it and who created it is scrolling across the top. So, what do I think about the game? Well, if it's only for the 48K Spectrum, it's not too bad at all. There's not much in the way of sound. Would have been nice to have a bit of AY music in the background, or some sort of AY sound effects as well. Make the most of the AY chip. But that is it really, so there's not a lot to the game. But is it playable? No, because you can stay on the middle level and you can get the game done quite comfortably there. And personally, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was brilliant, but it's got a great loading screen, I'll give it that. What would I give it as a mark? Well, this is not meant to be mean, because I don't like giving poor ratings, but I'd like to have seen a bit more. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to see a different level, maybe go for 4 platforms or something like that, or maybe that's just a coder starting out and that could be his first attempt. So I'm not going to judge it on that. I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10, and I think that's fair. Do you agree? Please let me know if you've played this game, if you like it or not, or is it something you need to, what we need to do, try actually. Yeah, so obviously 2-player game is where the other person can play as well, so that I presume you've got to select keys for 2-player, but how do you select the keys? Tin Sinclair? Oh well, there you go. Anyway, let's move on to the next and last of the new games for today. So this game is from a lovely lady, and I've already played this and put a little bit of a video on the internet. I've been looking forward to playing this for a while because I like the look of it when it posted loads of development going on. Remixed Metal Man. First impressions, fabulous loading screen. I really like that. I mean, let's zoom in so you get a nice big picture on that one, just to get a closer look. There we go. What do you make of that? Vibrant, colourful action, information, not a single bit of colour clash in sight, is there? Beautiful. But it's a game as good. I mean, even you look at the sort of cloud in the background, you can almost see his face up in that top corner. There's like a face there. You've got a small helicopter, you've got the searchlight of the helicopter, and even in the graphical building there's like little pixel dots that almost represent somebody looking out of the window, as well as somebody in the background, him holding this big gun, a motorbike. It's just, wow, it's amazing. Looking loading screen. So we're going to load the game now, which I've got, and then we'll play the snap file because I've got it preloaded. Let's zoom out a little bit. You don't need that big a picture. Sorry, Emo, you're going to take a back seat on this one because I really want to concentrate on the game. Right, I'm going to show you the way these come because these boxes are brilliant. And on the back you see all of the screenshots. There's actually 2 games on the cassette, but when you open this up, and we'll do that now, I'll take the top off this and show you. Keep looking over there for some unknown reason. I'm looking at the screen in the back, you see, and I'm looking and thinking, what game was that I put on there? Turn that volume up. Bit easier to open the first time round. Inside the game, before you actually get to the cassette, you will see, you will get a CD of the music, and then you'll get the cassette. Also in there you'll get the folder, a poster with the instructions, and indeed the CD-ROM and tap file there to load it onto your computer if you can't indeed get the tape version to load. On the side A of the tape you get the main remix, and on the opposite side of the tape you get a different version of it by somebody else who's remixed it. So let's go back to the small screen and have a look at this particular game. It will start with a tune. A bleeper tune, as a matter of fact. And as it happens, ducked out of position. Oh yes, and Matt Langley, I've actually had to recharge this if you ever watch. I'm not happy, it's ridiculous. Having to recharge this once every 6 months, that's too much, Matt. Brilliant, isn't it? 6 months before I recharge this. It's got to be about 6 months since I've had it about 6 months. It's probably one of the best things I've bought. Next to Geordie's analog one, this is fantastic to play with because it's Bluetooth from here to. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. I must get links to see if you can still get these. I'm not sure you can. I believe they come out every now and then. I got mine early. I only got one. I wish I got more than one. What a silly thing to do. But I appreciate the one that I've got, and I'm using it all the time. Why would I get more than one? Well, in case my mate's come round to give me a game. What are you doing here, man? Anyway, we're going to go for Kempson, and I don't think you can really find the keys. And H is to pause. Okay, let's try then. So we'll get this intro out the way, and I'll zoom in so you can read that. Well, obviously you've missed it, so I should really start it again, shouldn't I? Emo, stop dancing. That's Emo remixing. Did you hear it? Give yourself a chance to read that. Let me just make sure I'm out the picture of the writing, and tells you a little bit about what's going to be done. We're going to need to collect little bits of a chip. There are 6 pieces you need to get off the first level, and that is going to be self-explanatory. See, if I read through it, and I'm a slower reader than most, then I know that you'll have time to read it yourself, and hopefully you've read through that so I can move on to the next bit. We are ready. I'm going to zoom out now because we don't need that much picture. There we go. And now we're going to get the full effect of the show. So let's play this game and see the way it plays. And before I do that, now, it doesn't have AY music in it, but it does have sound effects, and you can only take so many blows, but you do get energy dotted around the place, so you can, as you can see, you're moving up the the explosions. Magnificent, isn't it? The graphics at the background are very nice indeed. Enemies will keep coming, they don't just go when you've disappeared them, and as you can see, there's almost like an Ed 209 that I didn't get to destroy, but now there you go, there's the first bit of the chip which I'm going to collect now, which I'm standing on at the moment, and if you look down there, there's like 6. One of them is now filled. Stay away from that because that will explode, and each explosion can take a bit of your energy, but it's great for when there's enemies around. Yeah, you get things that fly out your sort of beams in the sky. Ooh. There we go, so we'll go down here. Medipack required. You can see the energy in the opposite side. Taking a few blows here, but no one. That's it. They do take your energy as well when you hit them. And we've got another piece of the puzzle here. Obviously, you're not going to be able to walk past the car, so you've got to work your way around the map a little bit further. Ooh. Great looking sprite. It's very smooth. Considering the game's doing an awful lot graphically, it's very smooth. But then perhaps I'm going to need to collect that, you know. Ah, now you saw me collect the bullets out. I've also got a shield. That'll help me a little bit. Or shield, or it's more to do than damage control, shall we say. If you're too close to them, you can't fire, can you? Ah, I see. So I've got to go up here and this way to get another piece. Ooh. Yeah, I've just managed to avoid that explosion a little bit then. You have to wait for the lift to come up and down. Now if I get up there, I've collected another piece. I've got 3 so far. And I do like the explosion because that is a really nice looking effect. Right, now you will need to get on this ship in order to get to the next section of the game. Fortunately you can fire, but them climbing things can be a bit of a problem. So as you go through here, you're going to go into like what seems to be a tunnel. Now be warned, because at the end of this tunnel there's a bit of a nasty one and you need to destroy him before you can proceed any further. He spits horrible things at you. Then hopefully you will find another piece of the chip. And we've only got 2 more pieces to get. But I'm just going to pause that there for a second. I need to drink my foam straw now. So let's return to the game and see if we can find these last 2 pieces. It's a marvellous looking game, isn't it, really? I think if we... because you can't fly... you can fly through the green platforms, but you cannot fly through the white ones. I think we need to probably get on that to go a little bit further, don't we? So let's... well, I didn't mean to leave it there, but now that I have done, see if I can get a bit further along. I think you've got to go down and around and back on yourself here. And there's the death sequence for you, which is pretty good. You get to start straight away, but you will start at the beginning and you'll have to start all over again. Right, so what do I think of the game? Well, graphically, for what the capability of the Spectrum can do, it's absolutely brilliant. It's got 0 colour clash, it's very smooth in its scrolling. I like the fact, if you look at the clouds in the background, they're sort of scrolling across behind the scene of any objects as well. That's taking a lot of work to do that. Just like Angels, they haven't what they're producing now, quality games wise, would have competed with any game on any market back in the 80s and early 90s. Would this get a crash smash? Well, I would think if it didn't, there's something wrong with the people relating it. I think the game, the effect, the whole playability and the experience of the game is really, really good. And buying the physical copy doesn't disappoint. If there is a downside to it, and there is a downside to it in my books, there's no actual AY tune. Let's, for instance, take away the music that I've put in there to give it a bit of atmosphere. It goes very quiet indeed, doesn't it? You've got the sound effect of the weapons, and that's all you've got. So the AY tune that's in the background is what I provided. It's easy to get into. You automatically know what to do. It's not 100% difficult. However, if you're careless and you try rushing things, then obviously you're going to get your comeuppance, shall we say. Bring the music back. There is a different version of the game, a different take on it on the B side of the physical copy, with some of the material that's coming from the people that have made this. Natasha, this is truly a magnificent piece of the game. Just by waiting above the lift as well, it will come up. So what am I going to give that as a rating? Graphically, 10 out of 10. Playability wise, 10 out of 10. Effects of explosions and even the death sequence, give it a 10 out of 10. The whole presentation, the backstory, 10 out of 10. So, I like the game. I think it's really well done. The only flaw is no AY music. And it'd be nice if somebody could take this and develop it a little bit further for the ZX Spectrum Next, because it is fantastic. And at the moment, the main game for the Spectrum Next that has come out, I forgot the name of it, it'll come to me later. I'm going to give this, and it's going to be a bit mean, for the absolute brilliance that is on the screen. I'm torn between 9.5 and giving it a full maximum retro Robbins special. If it's only for the 48K Spectrum, then it's 10 out of 10. But as we use the AY chip for the later Spectrum from 85 onwards, and that's a long period of time considering the ZX Spectrum came out in 82 to 85, that's 3 years, but from 85 all the way to 1992, 93, you know, 7 extra years of the Spectrum life that could have potentially been. I'll say 1990, I would think. There's 5 years of AY. It would have been nice to have an AY tune in there. Something like the one that's playing in the background, a bit of intensity, to give it that real arcade type feel, because in the arcades you get that. Then it would have been full marks. So for instance, because of that, I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10. Still a very high mark, but still a game worth getting the physical copy, which might be a little bit hard to do so due to world events, unfortunately. Remember, people aren't politics, people are people. Politicians do the politics, so don't be hating anybody for where they come from at all. You know, soldiers only follow orders. It's those that give the orders that should be accountable, really. Either way, let's hope things come to a more peaceful conclusion for everybody in the world, of course. No politics from me, because this is about the retro. Give it a go, Metal Man. And I think I've just died. And on that note, let's move on to the next section of the show. Okay, here we go, Keith. We're going back now to Crash from 1990 September. Crash number 80 would have cost you £1.85. Incidentally, the Time Machine was the only Crash Smash in this particular magazine. Got a 91% by Activision. Would have cost you £9.99. I confess I've not played it. Perhaps that's one I need to go and check out. I tend not to go anywhere near Crash Smashes on this show, because once they got that badge of honour to me, I shouldn't go back and re-rate them. But perhaps you think otherwise. Do you agree that perhaps I should go for a Crash Smash special and go for as many Crash Smashes as I can to see whether they deserve that badge of honour? Who knows? The first game I've selected by Ubisoft, spelled UBI, soft. Forgot what that means, I didn't know. They cost you £9.99. or $14.99 on disc. Ow.
But why so expensive?
Resemblance to Alexander Armstrong, that, isn't it? Well, presentation 72%, graphics 75%, the sound was 64%, although I don't understand why it got such a high rating on the sound, because, well, yeah, 64. It doesn't seem like a high rating, but when you actually play the game, it is. More will come clear in a moment. Playability 73%, addictive quality 70%. Its overall rating was 72%. The game in question is Twin Worlds, and I have rated this on the show before, but I thought, well, I had to look back at some of my recent episodes, and I thought, was I uncannily fair? So I'm going to go back and have a look at this one now, and it starts with a tune, I believe. Open the tap file, and the autofocus will catch up. A nice colourful-ish loading screen. You've got a dragon breathing fire. I've got to be honest, but that's about all that you've got. The graphic character of the female or the witch or whatever it's meant to be there isn't the best drawn bit of graphics I've ever seen, but you know, there's almost colour clash with her red hair and it doesn't look great. She looks pretty ugly, a bit like me really. There you go, that's the loading screen, but let's have a look at the actual game. Right, you got the choice of keyboard, Kempston, which incidentally, when you select Kempston, I'm pressing 4 now for Kempston. There you go, I've selected Kempston, but there's nothing there to indicate that you've selected Kempston. So when you press 1, you've got a leap of faith whether to, hopefully you haven't selected keyboard. But I've got my trusty joystick in hand and we're going to give that a go. Okay, I'm ready when you are. Twin Worlds. Press any key. Ah, yes, I remember it. Now, collecting, you only got a certain amount of bullets as well. The sprites and background are very yellow indeed, but it's to do with contrasting between the twin worlds, because when you, so we say, go into another cave, right, we can't get up, we can get up there actually. But we're going to go through one of these caves first of all. By pressing down on the joystick, you can enter another cave. And we're just going to try not to waste too many bullets, otherwise you will die. Click the key there. I collected the key, but guess what? I died. It'll scroll back to where you started from. As you can see, if I press it, the scrolling moves in one block graphical characters at a time. So with that knowledge, you're able to. And there are items for you to collect when you actually kill a bad guy. Sometimes they leave you something to pick up. If you're in time, that is, you will get to pick it up. Now obviously I can't get up there, so what you then do is you go out that tunnel, find your way around it, try not to kill everything you see. Another key, I'll do that. Ah, that'll scroll back to where I entered. There we go. I think this time though, there we go, click that item. Now, yeah, there are places on rocks where you can jump, but they're not always that clear, to be quite honest. Now because we've got the key, we can get through this gate here. And there's some rather large jumps to make, and there's another key of course, but we've moved along, and of course if you move along this part of the world, whether that's what it's meant to be, you're able to then, shall we say, move to this part of the world as well. That was lucky. Oh, I forgot there was something else there for me to kill. Be sparing with your bullets because you've only got so many. Need to do something about that tune. It's getting a bit repetitive. Right, we've killed him, so we can carry on. Oh, he stamps his foot sometimes if you press down as well. There we go. Right, so it gets very complicated and hard to fathom at certain points here. Oh, there's lots of things for me to collect, so somehow I managed to, well, I managed to die. That's what I managed to do. Ah! Okay, game-wise, yeah, he got 7 out of 10, and I'm pretty much in agreement with Crash there. I'm going to give that a 7.5 out of 10. But that's not the only one that we're going to do today, so we're going to move on to another Crash re-review. Next up, I don't think I did this one, which is a shame because I missed it out. $14.99 would have been, I'm not going to play that. It's a lot of money for a 3.5-inch disc if you're going to put it in your plus 3. $19.99 by Ocean, presentation 70, graphics 73, sound 67. Again. Another low rating in the sound, just like the last game. It hardly had any sound at all, did it? Playability 70, addictive quality 71, overall rating 74%. I need to correct something I did earlier. Metal Man does come with a CD with music on it that you can put in your CD player to play in the background while you're playing the game if you so wish. But if it's not actually coming out the machine itself, I'm not going to count that, so that's in the past now. So this game got an overall rating of 74%. It's nice looking, has to be said, and I've got to use a screwdriver. Oh. Not sure whether it selects Kempston for you. Press fire to start. Okay, so what is fire? I think it's going to be QAOP in space, isn't it? I remember this game now. It's a little bit blocky in its movement, isn't it? And I couldn't get on with it if I remember rightly. But yeah, it's dreadful, to be fair. It looks colourful, it looks great, but for a beat 'em up it's so unreactive and blocky. I didn't get on with it last time. Well, I think I just kept getting beat up. I remember it quite well. I'm not going to try and keep this review too long, but we can get a little bit further along the screen. I need to beat these up, and unfortunately it ain't going to happen because it's not registering my key presses half the time as I press it. Yeah, you lose your character when you go behind certain objects, like the phone there. So you kind of lose what's going on. My best way around it is to just make a run for it sometimes. And you have to jump up there, don't you, as well? There you go. It looks great, don't get me wrong. It hasn't got much sound, let's be honest. You can't go any further until you beat a few of these up. Once they start kicking you though, you're unable to react. It's a shame because it all looks good, it just doesn't play very well. It doesn't play very well. Now, after playing Angels, which is another beat 'em up, the side scrolling, that really does play well. You know, so it's not that it isn't possible to do that, but there's so much going on the screen there that perhaps the older Z80 is struggling. But it just looks great. You'd buy it because it looks good, but it doesn't play good. So its overall rating was 74%, but I said this before and I'm going to stick to the same rating. I'm going to give that a 6.5 out of 10. It wasn't really that enjoyable for me to play. Maybe you think differently. If you do, I understand. The last game I was going to give a review to was T-Bird 50% by Mastertronic, $2.99. It's one I might do in a future show. I haven't had time to play it because I want to get a Commodore versus Spectrum in today, and I've got a little bit a surprise lined up. So without no further to do, the battle begins once again. It's been a while since I did one. It's Commodore versus Spectrum on Retro Robbins. Who's going to have the better version of the same game? Will it be Commodore? Will it be Spectrum? And I started doing this feature around about 2 years ago, so let's see how we get on today. Yep, Crossfire for the Commodore and Crossfire for the Spectrum. It's a shooting game where you just move the target and you have to hit the right things at the right time. Try and avoid a few of the bad guys, get them before they get you. Try not to hit the good guys. So, which is going to be the better? Will it be the Commodore version or will it be the Spectrum version? There's not a lot between the two games, I can tell you that now before we get going. I have played these quite a bit, so although you're only going to see the first screen really, because it's sometimes hard to try and get past the first level when I'm actually recording the show, we're going to give them a go. So while the Commodore is loading via tape, of course, as I've got the original cassettes, I thought I would load it via tape. Let's get on and have a look at the Spectrum version. Here we go, loading screen for the Spectrum. It's a little bit more colourful than the Commodore one, I'll give you that. The 3 different colours, so we can quickly look through that before this loads. Let's have a look at the Commodore one again. Oh, I've gone past the channel I want, so it's external one, isn't it? There we go. Commodore should still be loading. Oh no, it's loaded. Oh, that's good. Well, we can come back to that in a minute. So let's hope we'll see the Spectrum one loading. The Spectrum version is... I've got it on increased loading speed, 28 megahertz, so it won't take too long for this to load. But what we'll do is I'll pause it till we get loaded and we'll get the autofocusing. Come on, there we go, it's loaded now. So I'll enlarge the screen so as we get a nice reasonable picture. J for joystick. Right, so we want to use Kempston, okay, and then enter your name. Oh, look at that, I like that throw. Now, as I'm using Kempston, it should be, yeah. So how many letters? We've got 10 letters in it. What can we put? What can we put? Right. Oh, it jumped off the top there, did it? Okay, IE. Okay, that'll do me. Right, here we go. First go of the Spectrum game.
No, I'm here to talk anytime.
Oh, thank you for that, Emo. Oh, so cute, isn't he? Downtown Chicago. Ah, here we go. So he doesn't look like he's going to fire. Oh, he does. He's fired, and let me know that's quick. You know why? I know why. Give me a second. Let me just rectify that. I left it in 28 megahertz. So that's why this was darting around the screen virtually uncontrollably. Well, I'm trying to avoid the what. Just stay over him in case he pulls a gun. Ah, I get blasted. I got blasted again. Any minute now they're going to appear on the top window, aren't they? So, yeah, right. Don't know if I should be killing them ones, but it looks like he's carrying a gun, doesn't he? Looks like he's carrying a gun. So then one we definitely got to shoot. So I got a weapon, and then, oh, done it! I got past the first screen. Perfect shooting, bonus 1000. Excellent. Level 2. Goodness me, you go. Oh, bang. Try that again. Level 2, here we go, once more. Come on, Spectrum. Oh no, have I got a shield? I must have to shoot them type. Well, I did okay. That was the Spectrum version. It was alright. It wasn't anything too difficult. There isn't any music in it, of course. There's no AY tune, just the sound effect of the firing. So let's have a look at the Commodore version. Crossfire, nice loading screen, nice and colourful. Now, I'm using this bad boy, so hopefully we'll get this right first time. Come on then, let's see what we got. Do we have any sound for the Commodore? Well, we're up maximum anyway, so yeah, you go. Ah, joystick slow moving. Didn't give me a chance to get to it, did it? I like the sound effect of the firing. I've got to get you. Oh no, I should have killed him. I should have killed him. I killed them both. You're dead. Oh, come on. Oh, bonus level complete. Oh, crikey, this is a slightly different scene, isn't it? You gotta go. You gotta go. It's slightly different to the Spectrum version, this bit, isn't it? Come on. I'm not going to get over there before he pulls his gun. I'm not going to get over there. Goodness me, he's going from left to right quite quickly, isn't it? Well, you haven't got to be exactly on him to shoot him, have you? Oh, I've managed to get the second level. Wow. Gets even bigger now. Look, I'm doing really well on the Commodore. Oh, wow, I've got too many windows to shoot. It's like a bonus level. How am I going to get over to him and then to them? Okay. What's going on? Oh. I'll tell you what, if it was a faster mouse, this would be a really easy game. But because you've got a limited time to get across the screen in order to shoot them before they shoot you. There's a lot of windows to go for. I nearly shot a good guy. Got to get over there for the bad guy this side. Back over there for the bad guy that side. Wow. Wow, that was tough, but enjoyably tough. I've done better on the Commodore than I have the Spectrum. Okay, anyway, so what do I think? Let me tell you now which is going to win. Well, yeah, I mean, I did better on the Commodore, but that wasn't the only reason. I mean, just look at the game itself. Because you've got a, well, I'm picking up the wrong joystick. You've got a bigger screen display. You've got so much going on there. The graphics are quite good. There's no colour crash. It's quite wide. None of them have got any music in the background. On that occasion, though, I had to give it the old Commodore. So that wraps up today's show. Do hope you enjoyed today's show. Big thank you to everyone behind the scenes, of course, who helped me put a little show together. A bit of nostalgia trip down a nostalgia road of me playing some vintage games as well as some modern new games. And we've had some great games today. Metal Man certainly did blow my mind. It was as good as Angels that we had a few weeks ago, and I'll be intrigued to see what happens in Crash Magazine, whether that gets its Crash Smash, which I can't see any reason why it shouldn't, to be honest with you. As always, if you enjoyed today's show, please leave a comment below. Leave your comments in the comments below, and I'll try and get back to as many of you as I possibly can. Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure as always. So depending on when you watch this, you take care. Have a nice working weekend, and I'll see you again soon on the next Retro Robbins show.